This time next week, we'll be playing Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer for those on PlayStation, and we'll also have a comprehensive understanding of what we'll be seeing from COD next. But today, as we round into the final weekend before all of that begins, we got another and what I imagine is our final intel drop here leading up to Call of Duty Next and that reveal for Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer. Whether Infinity Ward do this again between the conclusion of the beta and the launch of the game is yet to be seen, but for now, we've got our final look at what's to come with Modern Warfare 2 ahead of the full-on reveal. Today, we're breaking it all down, so as we go along, drop your thoughts below. Are you looking forward to any particular part of Modern Warfare 2? What weapon would you like to see confirmed first or perhaps next? Maybe a new map you'd like to see? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, or you're excited for the reveals upcoming, do me a favor and drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2. We'll be streaming and creating content from Call of Duty Next in the next few days, so make sure you're here for absolutely all of it. But for now, let's take a look at the latest intel drop from Modern Warfare 2. So firstly, for those who haven't seen it, here's that new intel drop.
How we create artificial intelligence in Modern Warfare 2.
My name is Sergio Ocio. I'm the AI engineering director. So AI is anything that moves by itself. Enemies, allies that go with you in missions, cars. AI is everywhere in the game.
My name is Mark Grigsby. I'm a studio animation director. I say Modern Warfare 2's AI is systemic. What that means is that when you play it, you're engaging with it in a different way almost every time. If you react in a certain way or if you move in a certain way, the AI will react to you in a different way.
The first thing that we do is to start researching to see what do people do in real life when they face this situation. We work with Navy SEALs just to make sure that everything that we do is as realistic as possible. We were looking at improving soldier speed during combat. In previous games, the AI felt like they were not appreciating their life, but in the new game, it feels like they are stressed out about the situation when they have to run somewhere.
We wanted the AI to engage with the environment. So one of the takes that we wanted is for the AI to hunt you in a way where it was believable, where you were like, okay, they're thinking about me. They're thinking about where I was, where I'm going to be, and they're preserving their lives, making sure that they're not going to get shot by me, that I'm around the corner.
The AI helps player be more immersed in the game. It makes the player feel more like a real soldier. And they're helping sell the experience of you are really in the worlds where we put you in.
I think that the players are going to really enjoy the variety that we bring to the table when it comes to the AI. Not only are we going to have combatants, non-player characters, you're going to be able to travel your own path and engage or disengage. AI is a huge part of this project. It is across the entire game where we put a lot of investment, and I think people are going to really, really enjoy it.
Pre-order Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and play the campaign up to a week early.
So, fish AI, anyone? But in all seriousness, this was an insightful look at one of the more refined systems in Modern Warfare 2, predominantly based around AI, which may be surprising to you. That was a big factor in the discussion in June pre-reveal in that briefing with Infinity Ward about Modern Warfare 2 that myself, other content creators, and press ended up having. But before we break down the implications here of what AI may have in regards to the upcoming gameplay experience for Modern Warfare 2, let's take a look at what a lot of us probably care about the most: the gameplay features shown off in this video, because the last couple we've seen, of course, a couple of things previewed just kind of out of nowhere. So firstly, in terms of gameplay, we see a brand new weapon here showcased to us, this being the AK-74U, which very well could be its own standalone weapon, but it's also very possible that it could be a conversion or a product of the variants that we end up seeing in regards to the upcoming gunsmith and weapon progression system, i.e. this could be a base AK-47, but with an AK-74U variant or pre-built, I don't want to say blueprint, but again, sort of a conversion that makes it its own weapon, but it might not necessarily be an AK-74U in the SMG category, if that makes sense. So it's something that shows us a little bit more of a glimpse of some other weapons, whereas previously we only saw the M4 in the last couple, so it's nice to see a little bit of a glimpse of the 74U. Now, as for the locales and maps around this, we end up seeing a cityscape into a parking lot or street side courtyard. I kind of want to say this is either a new location, but with that courtyard sort of installation, it kind of looks like art. Makes me kind of think it might be museum. And then we saw a more industrial compound and what appears to be oil tanks, which leads me to believe this could be one of the sort of battle maps here at this, if it's from MP. Perhaps Said, as Sarif Bay was described as a fishing village, whereas Said was simply described as an intense urban combat map, but that doesn't quite fit the mold maybe. So more interestingly, there's a leaked Warzone 2 point of interest called Oil Field, which could be right on the money here at this one. So maybe that's something we see in terms of a larger map as a whole in terms of other battle maps, but it also could be something that may be from Warzone. But now on the more boring side, of course, that could just be something. This could simply be a campaign level, but one can hope, right? Now, the only other thing that we end up seeing here in terms of gameplay is a sort of reactionary demo of a soldier with an M4 walking along. Now, that isn't something necessarily that may be too exciting to you, and it was the Modern Warfare 2019 M4 that we end up seeing here with that. But why I bring this up is because this is quite literally test footage that was used to showcase some of the growth in the AI behavior, but it's also exactly what we saw when they described the new AI systems to us back in June. We got a little bit of a video briefing here. That's how we ended up seeing, of course, other campaign missions and all that, beyond what was just showcased at Summer Games Fest, that dark water footage, and a little bit of what we saw in the reveal trailer, but that was quite literally test footage, so don't worry too much on that one. But let's jump on over to the focal point of this actual intel drop, the AI. Now, this apparently is going to be a big focal point here at this, and of course, this intel drop showcased some before and after in behavior, and in those gameplay sequences, you saw that the AI was a little bit more reactionary. They ended up taking into account what the player was doing before ending up formulating their next move, which is pretty cool in a sense like that. Whether or not that becomes a little bit more annoying or tedious within the gameplay loop itself in campaign or wherever this may pop up, we'll have to wait and see, but it's cool that that system is being advanced a little further to make them a little bit more of the world around you, not necessarily just sort of like pylons that you have to take out in any sort of mission. Now, to that degree, they also described quite a bit about this back in June, so for a bit of a recap here at this, they ended up saying that AI brings Modern Warfare to life. They make that universe sort of a living amalgamation of all the systems of play. Now, they also said they wanted the same level of quality in every single game mode, and we'll touch on that in just a second because that means more than just campaign. Now, they also said that they want them to command the player's respect, meaning that this is something that you look at an AI and you're like, okay, I actually have to take this threat seriously. They also have that self-preservation behavior, again, where the AI reacts to players. They have body language, environmental awareness and room detection, coordinated behaviors in groups, and they end up stating that they can live outside of combat. So that sort of all makes it, in my mind, jokingly seem like Free Guy, where the AI might actually think they're like a real character in the game. And while it's not to that degree, they're not giving them that much life as like a sideline Sims character or anything like that. It is going to be something that you definitely notice in game. But they also stated there's going to be a high AI count and shared across game modes, even in Warzone 2. So that means that we have them in campaign. We know that we have them in Warzone 2 to some degree. There has been rumors that they've been reeled back a little bit and it's not as much in Warzone 2, but multiplayer is that other big game mode that we have to take into consideration. They might actually be there in multiplayer. The rumor right now is that they're just going to fill out sort of those protected lobby brackets instead of just trying to force other players with strict matchmaking components. If you have a player that is, say, truly disabled, they may end up seeing bots in some of their lobbies. But again, that's all rumor right now, speculation, so we don't quite know about it, but it seems like AI will have a much bigger part, especially being debuted publicly so much like this, than we may actually anticipate. So that said, that's what we're gonna call it. That is the new intel drop here, and probably what I would imagine is the last intel drop ahead of COD Next that showed off a little bit of those new systems, plus also a little bit of gameplay. So with that, I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down below. Are you guys looking forward to anything in particular that we learned out of this? The new weaponry of the AK-74U, the new maps perhaps, or maybe just the prospect of AI coming into some of the game modes you may play normally. Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below, but if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 2. We'll keep you up to date with absolutely everything, so if you'd like to join the community, I'd love to have you. That said, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso, just a few days away from COD Next, so stay frosty, take care, and peace.